Hello and welcome to Draw With Me. I'm Danny Gregory and we get together every Thursday at 9 Pacific here on YouTube and we draw stuff. Today we're actually not going to be drawing, we're going to be drawing letters. So in a way it's drawing, but in a way it's lettering. It's vaguely calligraphy. We'll talk about all that in a minute, but if you want to just get out whatever you want to work with today, could be pens, could be brushes, could be markers, could be ink bottles, dip pens, anything you want. Get them ready. Colored pencils. Crayons, anything you want. So, yes, and I am joined by the world traveler here.
I'm back.
JJ has been, where the hell did you go?
I went to Greece, which is a great distance from Phoenix, Arizona. A long flight, but boy, was it worth it. And also, it's just so nice to come home.
It's nice to have you back. We missed you. Good. Well, anything particular about Greece you want to share with us?
Well, I will share that it was my very first time ever going there. And I have to say the hospitality, the people of Greece, I mean, for one, they love Americans, which I can't say is true of everywhere that I've visited. So that was
particularly America,
delightful. And the people of Greece have stolen my heart. The country is beautiful. The islands, we went to Paros, Antiparos, Mykonos, of course Athens. We flew in and out of Athens. So we saw quite a bit of Greece in the time I was there. But truly, the food, the people, the Aegean, which is so salty and wonderful to float in. I mean, I don't want to say too much more lest I make you jealous, since Danny
I'm about to burst into tears.
Stayed home. I know. Danny got the shaft on that vacation. It was a girl's trip.
We have a Draw With Me person from Greece. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Oh my goodness.
Is it Mavia? I don't know. I don't know the Greek.
Yeah, the Greek alphabet is a mystery, even after having been there for 10 days. It is quite fortunate that English is well spoken everywhere that I went there. But yes, Greece, you have my heart. You are a truly awesome destination. One of the very best trips I think I've ever had.
All right.
Sorry, Danny.
I didn't go because JJ went for her friend's birthday. So
yes, it was a girls' trip.
She used to be my friend, but she's not anymore. And Greek food.
Yeah, the food was excellent.
Yes. Terry was there. Sandy was there. So good.
Danny, you'll go someday.
I'll go one day.
Someday.
I'll go one day.
Yeah.
I don't need that. Anyway.
But we are going to go to New York, and that'll be a vacation.
I've been there, and they have good Greek food there too. So that will be fun.
Yes.
So let's just talk briefly about what we're going to be working on today. We're going to be working with the Hahnemuhle Hand Lettering pad.
We sure are.
So there's a couple of reasons that we're doing this. One, I love this paper, and it's been a while since we've used it. But also yesterday was World Calligraphy Day, right?
Yeah, something like that. I think it was some point this week, Calligraphy Day.
I love that there are so many days of celebrating art and weeks of celebrating art. We just finished Watercolor Month, World Watercolor Month a few days ago. And now here we are in Calligraphy World.
I mean, you love
your
lettering.
I love lettering. I really do. So, so we're going to be giving away, what is it? 8 of these? 8. That's
How generous can
you be? I think that's the most
Hahnemuhle?
we've ever given away. Yeah. So Hahnemuhle, thank you so much. So virtually, if you write to us, chances are pretty damn good that you're going to get one of these.
If you haven't won.
If you haven't
won.
So write to us at info@sketchbookskool.com and share your U.S. mailing address, and we will hopefully be able to get you one. Or you can write to us at our post office box. But do that and tell us, if you want to, tell us why you like lettering and why you think this would be fun.
Rachel G chiming in. She won some of this paper from you last year. She should use it today. How come you haven't
you should be,
used it up in a year's time?
Coming back for more. It is very nice. It's very nice paper, and it's going to be really nice. So, all right.
Sweet.
Let's move on. Let's briefly talk about this.
Oh, is that ever fun?
There it is. That's Twiglet Beef with a stack of You Do Yous, my new book that just came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you took it as reading material on your flight.
I mean, I've read most of these essays, but it's just nice to have them in a book. You know, it's like a thing that you can get a little bit of inspo at your fingertips. You can carry it in your bag.
It's true.
It's a great gift.
A lot of this, yes. A lot of people have written to me and they've said that they've bought multiple copies to give to people, which is nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think it is a good gift because you know what? It's full of encouragement. It's full
true.
of words to make you feel positive feelings, happy feelings. You know, the world needs more of that.
Speaking of gifts, today is Jack T. Gregory's birthday. It's my son.
Yay, birthday season.
He is really old. He's turning 29. It's hard to believe, hard to imagine. I remember like changing his diapers, and that was only a year and a half ago.
You were looking at pictures of him from the day he was born.
The day Jack was born, yes.
Oh gosh, I wasn't sure where you're going to tell the story.
Well, the day Jack was born, I was so exhausted from being at the hospital. I didn't go through labor, but it's still hard being a dad in the delivery room. I came home, I was really exhausted. I'd been up for like 36 hours. I took a shower, and then I was going to call all the family members to tell them that Jack was here. And we had a bottle of mouthwash or something on the toilet next to the shower. I was washing my foot. I slipped. I knocked this giant glass bottle, shattered all over the shower, and I fell onto it. And suddenly blood was everywhere in the...
You fell onto it with your hand.
I landed like that on my hands. And I ended up having to go back to the hospital, to the emergency room, to get a whole bunch of stitches. So all the first pictures of me holding Jack, my hands are all covered with stitches. And in fact, I still have a few scars from those days. So they're 29-year-old scars. I know exactly how old they are. Anyway,
thankfully,
it was not a big deal, but
none of them impeded your ability to do
stuff with my hands.
Lettering,
yes, but it was it was more further drama.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the ebook, and so today what we're going to do is we're just going to grab some stuff, and I'll put some quotes up. I thought it would be fun to do some quotes.
How many do you think you want to do?
I have about a half a dozen.
Okay.
And
so you might need more than one page.
Yeah, I mean, what you could do is you could make a page. I might try and make a page where I have all of them on the same page, but I might also want to do some big stuff, in which case maybe I won't, because I have a big handful of stuff here, And then I also have 6 bottles of Winsor Newton calligraphy ink. And I have a whole bunch of dip pens fully loaded with fresh nibs. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of different things. And so you can do whatever you'd like, but in whatever size you want. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it works as a full page. I just did discover this is what we did. I don't know if you remember this, but we did this last time. Let me just get to this and get rid of this. But I don't know if you remember this last time. We did all these funny words. Do you remember that? Crepuscular and egregious
that's right.
and perspicacious.
Yeah, it was like the SAT prep.
Yes, we did. We did all these funny words, borborygmi and penultimate.
It was so weird because one of those words which we'd never heard, and then the very next day it came up.
What was it? Snollygoster?
No, I think it.
Rumpus? Jimcrackery? Fimblefamble? Omnibibulous? Pernicious? Perspicacious?
I think it might have been crepuscular.
Crepuscular.
And we read about it was on a TV show or something, and we were like, what? It's weird how the universe serves up.
Rapscallion, scrumptious.
I mean, rapscallion was a word that was already familiar to me because
that was
when you own a pub, you become aware of
perspicacious.
Jimcrackery.
Jimcrackery.
The one that still sort of I question is that
borborygmi.
Borborygmi.
It's the sound that your tummy makes. Borborygmi. I think I learned that from Robert Klein. Remember him, comedian? So we're going to be using this paper.
I've got.
It's nice and smooth.
I've got a brand new pad. Mine is smaller.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't it fun when you get to take the plastic off of it?
A brand new pad.
It's like it's Christmas.
So you're using
in honor of Jack T. Gregory's birthday.
I'm not sure what the sizes of the ones that they're giving away.
The sizes of the one they're giving away here. I'll post it.
Is it the small ones?
11 by 16. No.
11 by 16.
That's what it says.
Whoa, that's huge.
25 sheets.
11 by 16. Wow, mine is like the one I'm using is. It looks like it's like 8.5 by 11. 11 by 16, that's enormous.
Maybe I have a typo?
Maybe I have that wrong. That sounds like watercolor paper would be that big. Anyway, it's going to be a nice size for lettering.
It's totally possible I
right.
screwed that up.
So I have a bunch of...
This paper is slickery.
It's nice,
it's
right?
it's like a Zamboni just rolled over this. It's like...
Zamboni.
Fresh.
It's smooth and fresh.
It's smooth. It really is.
Smooth writing service. Okay, so here's the first quote that I really liked from Annie Lamott. Did she write Bird by Bird?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Annie Lamott,
indeed she did.
Great writer, writes a lot about writing, which is nice. We like her. And I like this quote: "Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you." I think that's really nice and true. Particularly if you unplug by going to Greece.
I unplug like 3 times a day when I have to nap because of my 36-hour journey home from Greece. Thank you, Delta Airlines.
Oh, poor you. All right, so I'm going to start doing this with a dip pen, I think.
Oh, wow.
Why not? Just jump in.
I do like making an A.
It is nice, yeah.
It's a good one.
So, let me just figure out where exactly I want to be with this camera. Here's my pen. I've already managed to soil the page, even though I haven't even done anything yet. So I'm going to be using some purple. There's an A for you.
Yeah, you like to do that spiral wind-up. It's like a baseball pitcher.
I mean, it's so much fun, isn't it? So what are your feelings about lettering? You have just beautiful handwriting.
I mean, I really bemoan the fact that cursive is disappearing because I just think it looks so fetching.
Well, you went to a Catholic school, so
Well, that's, yeah.
was that part of the reason that you were?
No, I mean, I I just think it's like the youth of today is losing the ability to understand cursive.
Really?
I think it's...
I don't think it's just the youth of today. I think it's our generation as well.
Well, we're clearly losing the ability to understand anything.
Wow, that's tough. Almost everything. You got to be careful when you're doing this sort of thing. We did a workshop with Lucia Layfield this past weekend, and she is an incredible calligrapher. And she said how important it is to have what you plan to write right next to you, because
I'm struggling
because otherwise you leave out words or you misspell things. Yeah, I just did it. Okay. I started writing the next line without finishing this one. Have you ever written with a dip pen?
Yeah, and you know what? Didn't go well.
Oh, that's too bad.
I should take that course you made, dip into dip pens.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Should take that.
Do you think before you write about how you're going to write it?
Yes.
I don't. Think about a half a letter ahead.
Tips for lettering left-handed. I mean, just start on the...
Just start writing with your right hand. What are you playing at?
No. Somebody's asking in the chat. I mean, it just does seem like a smearable situation.
Totally, particularly with if you're using live ink like this, I would not want to be.
So you have no advice, is what you're saying.
Sinister advice.
I'm being dead serious here.
Well, certainly putting down a piece of paper underneath is helpful. There are pens that are left-handed. I know that there are italic left pens.
Do you know this dog has to gulp out of her bowl whenever you're streaming live? I mean, can everyone hear that? It's so loud.
All right, you can all hear that it's not a horse at a trough.
It's a thirsty old pug.
Small pug drinking loudly. Boy, I wish I had some advice for left-handed people.
Are there any lefties in the chat?
Yeah, maybe y'all can help.
You know what I really want to use? Maybe I'll use it on the next one. Is my magic pencil. Is my mic going to allow me to scooch over there? I don't think so. I like those magic pencils for lettering.
For lettering, really?
Well, because that's, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I can get there from here. I'm going to knock over my iced tea.
Right, I'm done with
words. You moved them out of here.
I'm sorry, what? The red pencils?
No, my magic pencil.
Yeah, they're up there.
Oh, Danny. Well, I won't be using them.
Well, I have a lot of other art supplies. There's no shortage of art supplies here.
I know. I get it.
All right, so I think I'm going to change colors for writing her name down. Try a different color there, maybe some red. Let's see here.
I'm going to use pink.
I think I'll do it small. You know, I like to read, as do you, JJ.
Mm-hmm.
And I have, as is my wont, I have sort of a whole technology setup so that if I'm reading something, particularly on my Kindle, I highlight it, and then it goes into a database that I have. So whenever I have anything that I thought was interesting, and I highlight it, it's all selected and taken care of. So I think that's where I got this quote from.
She was begging. She's begging to be picked up. What are you going to do?
What about your lettering?
On me.
Give her a pen, see what she does.
Oh, this baby. Oh.
Virginia says, my advice for Kristen with a broken right hand is do not try a dip pen with your left at this time. Thank you, Virginia.
That's insult to injury, right?
That's really helpful. My suggestion would be just shake it off.
Yeah.
All right. There's some other southpaws there.
I like the term southpaw.
Gina says, I'm lefty, but my hand situates under the writing, thanks to my second grade school teacher. That's good. All right, so are you all ready to move on to another quote? Well, regardless, we're about to. I've cleaned my nibs, and I'm ready to move on to something else. Let's see what we have next. How about... Oh, I like this quote, actually. Mikhail Baryshnikov. He said, I do not try to dance better than anyone else. I only try to dance better than myself.
This is a very you-centric quote cavalcade. And your book is called You Do You. Is there a theme here?
You mean I should have like ones about things that have nothing to do with me?
No, but I mean...
These are quotes that I selected because I like them.
Right, but there's a theme here is what I'm saying.
You mean that I should unplug and that I should dance more? So I'm going to try using a totally different pen now. Totally different. I'm going... It's Baryshnikov. You're a fan of the dance, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So, how about this? This is a pretty snazzy pen.
James is asking, how did you learn that script? I mean, you made it up.
I made it up.
Is that silver? By the
It's not any silver.
By the light of the silvery moon?
It's not just silver. Look, it's got like glistening bits.
Mm. Oh, Puggy. Oh, Puggy. I know. Oh, baby. Oh, I know you're kind of hurting me. Okay, there you go, baby.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to make a whole page of kind of interlocking quotes. This is a brush pen. It's a Pentel brush pen, a dual metallic brush, and it is.
I mean, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but they're really cool.
Yeah. Again, can you see how it? See that when I angle it into the light, you see how it's. It has like it's like a metallic flake, like a car paint or something.
Yeah, it's hard to capture it on camera.
So now I'm almost just writing. I'm not really even sort of doing anything fancy. So now I'll switch to another one, which is gold.
I'm going to use gold for the word myself.
No, I'm just going to do the whole second sentence in gold.
Make new sentences, but keep the old. These are silver and these are gold. All right,
I love that song.
Can we just talk about the fact that there are Halloween displays in the stores again? I got back from Greece and like suddenly it's pumpkin spice season. It's also like 116 degrees here in Phoenix.
We literally have skeletons lying around, and it's not because it's Halloween. It's because it's like cow skulls and stuff like that.
I'll tell you also this morning. So our backyard has a school that's adjacent, and kids are back in school here in Phoenix. I heard them first, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
I didn't even know.
Yes, they're back. They're back on the playground. So it's sort of shocking. Like, is summer over?
Summer over. You can tell that summer's over because it's down to 116.
Summer fun drifts out to sea. Oh, those summer nights.
We're not going to get a copyright hit for that, are we?
Oh, geez. Perhaps. I don't think I sang it that well.
If the algorithm recognizes it, that's a tribute to your singing. All right, so that's a slightly different style, but you can see, let's see if that gold is glistening too. You see how the gold is? That's fancy. It has a kind of a Russian vibe to it.
For sure.
Yeah. Is that song from Greece?
Yes.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Wait, what?
I just read the book.
Excuse me, what did you just say?
Look, it's enough about Greece, all right? Sick of it. Greece, Greece, Greece. Are you going to go and see My Fabulous Greek Wedding Part 2? Or whatever
Part 3.
Oh, God, is it really? All right, let's move on to another quote.
Oh, no. Grace saw Christmas trees? That is rude. Hobby Lobby, no, ma'am. Christmas trees in August, not cool.
All right, let's try this quote. How we spend our days is how we spend our lives. Annie Dillard, another great writer.
Wait, what was Joseph Campbell? Did you change your mind?
Maybe we'll do that next. I'm going to try and... Maybe I'll make this smaller. Well, I think I'm going to use one of these Pentel brush pens. These little tiny ones. Maybe I could even fit it in here. How about right in here?
I was going to letter today, but I can't put this pug down.
Really?
I missed her so much. I love her so much.
How we spend. Do you think that this is true?
Hey, we have a newbie. Awesome. Uh-oh. I'm too far away from my monitor to read it.
Awesome.
Echidna?
Awesome echidna.
Echidna.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Echidna is an Australian marsupial.
Nice, Danny.
Sort of like a hedgehog combined with a possum, sort of.
I'm really impressed you know that. All right, well, welcome. Yeah, we do all kinds of things here on Draw With Me. Sometimes
today it's right
we
with
even
me.
draw.
Do you think this quote is true?
I mean,
Or is it obvious?
it is true, but I mean, I aspire to do a lot of things that I don't spend my days doing.
But you understand the point she's making.
I
in this
do,
quote,
and
don't
it
you?
gives me a bit of pause.
You mean that you're not spending your days doing the things that you want to spend your life having done?
it's like I keep thinking about, I'm going to take that piano course. And it's like, I'd be really good at playing the piano if I spent my days doing it rather than just thinking I'd like to do it.
Fair enough. Maybe
Instead, I sit around eating potato chips and watching trash television.
All right, let's look at this quote. This is related. Robert Louis Stevenson, of all people, saying, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant."
I love that.
That's a bit different from this. That's almost like a contradiction, right, with the Annie Dillard quote.
I mean, I'm Team Stevenson on this one.
Team Bob. All right, Bob. You've got one fan here. I'm a fan of Treasure Island and of Kidnapped. Did you
It's
ever
funny,
read?
one of the gals, so I went on this trip to Greece with a group of girlfriends, and one of the gals were like sitting next to each other on the ferry, which goes in between islands, and she's doing a little light reading of Robert Louis Stevenson. I was like, wow,
Was it Treasure Island?
No, she was reading like a compendium of stories. And I just thought to myself, that's just not what you think someone's going to pull out of their book bag on the ferry to Paros, but she went up a few points in my estimation.
So it's not chick lit, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not usually beach reading.
Yeah. You know what I was reading?
The Man in the Iron Mask by Alexander Dumas.
No, I was reading Killers of the Flower Moon, which we saw a preview. The last time we went to the movies, we saw that it's being made into a film, and I have never read it. Man,
I tried reading it about 8 times.
It is a really good book.
I could not get into it.
I was outraged, but it is so good. So good.
Does it take place in Arizona?
No, Oklahoma.
I think this is a good drawing quote. I think...
Yeah, it's the journey, not the destination.
Well, it's also like what we're doing right now. You can't go, what did I end up with a bunch of stupid quotes written by that guy on YouTube? What did I waste my time doing that for? No. You'll do this a few times, and then one day there will come a time when you go, oh my God, did you see what I wrote? That's so awesome.
There's a quote that I am not going to be able to properly accredit, but something to the effect of, if you fall in love with the process, the results take care of themselves. Is that not poetry?
It sounds
Emotion?
like, yeah. Was that like a football coach who said that?
Honestly, I don't know, and I should know if I'm going to say it's one of my favorites, but it's just been in my mind a lot, I think people really do have, a premature judgment of their results. Anything they try to do, you want to do it well. But
I think it's true. I think we assume that if we can't do it well right away, we shouldn't be bothering, right?
well, yeah, I don't have talent. Speaking of, when are you going to put in the vegetable garden?
In September. It's way too hot to do it now.
So we have that's our next project on the horizon. When we get back from New York, we're going to plant a vegetable garden in our backyard and see what happens.
Yeah, right now would be a good way to get roast vegetables. That's a noisy animal.
Oh, she's so sweet.
So it might be a little late in the day to be giving you this advice, but the key to doing this kind of lettering that I do is just to let yourself improvise and go wild with each stroke. I just misspelled this. I just started to write the wrong word. So what happens if you write the wrong word? This is what happens. You do this.
What?
Yeah. I started to write reap again.
Oh. You could probably make some little attractive little design. You can make like a little flower out of that.
I could, but I kind of like having a mistake in there. Doesn't bother me.
Don't judge each quote by the mistakes you make.
It's true. You know, in fact, when you look at like medieval manuscripts, sometimes you'll see that like the monks screwed up in some way.
No, you don't see that.
Absolutely, you do. They'll sometimes squeeze a letter in, squeeze a word in, where they've left one out. You totally do. They were probably excommunicated right after they did that, but
they were hopped up on mead.
They were hopped up on spiritual enlightenment. All right, so that was a different color.
I mean, what's up with that? Because it does look like it's blue and black at once.
It is blue ink.
And it's just the way the dip pen has kind of...
It's dark blue. And so sometimes when it runs out, you get like that effect. And this is all still wet. So when it dries, it'll get lighter. Now I'll show you black. This is black that I'm going to do now. And that will be significantly blacker.
Oh, Brookie.
I'm sorry, I was trying to give you some advice on lettering, and I just got distracted by what I was doing, and that's why I wrote that word wrong. It's really hard to do 7 things at the same time when it comes to lettering. It uses a lot of your brain. But what I do is I combine uppercase and lowercase. So I'll put an uppercase letter in the middle of a word, just if I feel like it. A lot of this is just happening automatically. I'm not really thinking it through. Sometimes I'll just feel like doing a swirly thing like this. Sometimes when you're using a dip pen, you'll get this effect, which is called railroading, which is when the tines of the nib separate and there isn't enough ink in there. And so you get these 2 lines where the 2 sides of the nib made parallel lines. I think it's a cool look. You could go back in and fill it in, but I don't mind it at all. I mean, look at that.
No, I think it looks amazing.
Right? It's like if you tried to do that, you probably couldn't do it elegantly. But it is interesting to see like the difference between the dip pen and then this marker. You know, it's just a really different voice that it has. And that's what's nice about playing with lots of different materials. All right, let's try something else. How about this?
Elizabeth is coming in late asking how long have you been lettering? And when you learned, did you follow any lessons? I think you basically taught yourself, right?
Yeah, I didn't take any lessons. I mean, I've tried like looking at books on calligraphy and stuff.
They're really fiddly. I mean, it's
so
kind of
boring.
the rough equivalent of like learning to draw perspective. It's like
so boring. It's like doing thousands of parallel lines. And all
team
that stuff.
wonky.
Yeah, I just don't.
Team wonky.
I don't dig it. All right, so I'm going to try doing something different now. This is a zebra brush pen. It's very juicy. So I don't know. We'll see what it's like. Oh, yes, that's juicy as hell. Uh-oh. Check it out. That's what happens when the ink is wet and you put your hand into it. So try not to do that. That's the effect you're looking for. Not sure what effect that would be, besides you're an idiot, but...
It's better than putting your hand in a bathtub full of broken glass.
I've done that too.
Mm-hmm. On this day, 29 years ago.
See, it's nice to do some juicy, big lettering sometimes too. And then to do some little lettering. Oh, man. I scoffed before at lefties, and now I'm kind of having to hold my hand in such a way to not get ink on it. Just like I advised, it's really not easy.
Yeah, I'm not sure scoffed is. You didn't scoff at any of our lefty friends.
No, I wouldn't scoff at lefties. I mean, they're sinister, but
They have
we
they
love
have
them.
special powers.
Yeah, so this one I'm using a fat pen and I'm holding it very gingerly because I don't want to get my hand in that wet ink. The cave you fear to enter.
I keep looking at that and thinking about cake.
The cake you feel like eating.
Oh man, birthday cake. It's birthday season. We're going to have birthday cake more than once before the month is out.
It's Jack's birthday today. It's JJ's birthday next week.
No, it's my mother's birthday next week.
Yeah, it's your birthday the week after that. And
in fact, it's Margie's birthday on Thursday. Maybe we should draw birthday cake. Or we should serve cake. Margie is going to be 92.
It's JJ's mother.
She was born in 1931.
She had JJ when she was a child. Well, JJ was a child. This pen is really nice to draw with, right?
Oh, and it's like really gliding over the paper. I can see that.
Yeah, it's like shiny paper, a juicy pen.
They're made for each other.
Yeah, really nice.
Who put the chocolate in my peanut butter?
Yeah, now I think I'm going to do this very small. Nothing but the sound of a pug snoring could be heard.
Yeah, she's really out.
All right. I think we have time for one more.
You got to do my favorite one.
What, this one?
I don't know. I have a delay on my stream.
In the end, everything will be okay. If it's not okay, it's not the end.
Yes, I love that.
I like that. And then there's one more that I'd like to do after that. So let's try and do this one. I think maybe I'll have to angle the page just because I have this.
You could use a new page.
No, I'm liking the way this is all kind of merging. I might use this fancy nib. Yeah.
Not a G-nib?
No, this is a weird Japanese.
Oh, is that the one Mary gave you?
Yeah, it's like a bullet. So what do you like about this quote?
I mean, it's just so simple. You know?
It's reassuring.
Yeah. I mean, unless you think of it as, death.
Hey, I already screwed it up. See if I can adjust it.
Oh boy. Kate Buick says it's a Kakimori metal nib. Does that sound right to you? It was a gift. Not self-selected.
Who might argue with Kate?
Kate is usually right.
What?
I mean, I don't know what you're doing here.
Just writing. I actually like this.
Oh, Buggy. Okay. I know.
This pen it holds a lot of ink, but it is, I'm not a master of it yet because it's flexible. It has these multiple kind of prongs in the middle of it that are all potentially bend, but I'm still getting used to it. It's a very different feeling writing with it. If anybody knows how to use it and can tell me, that would be good too.
And I think how you use it is fall in love with the process and the results take care of themselves.
Hey, that's the next quote we were going to do.
I do like that okay. It has like a bit of like brutalist kind of coolness to it.
Yeah, it's kind of big and bold. Yeah, because you can really have at it, you know.
I mean, you're improvising with that okay.
Yeah, it feels kind of almost like writing with a ballpoint pen in a way. And you can see how I started out making it really big and fat, and then I kind of ended up in this narrower way. So there's really a lot of variation you can get with this one thing. It's almost like you can write with the sides, or you can write with the tip, or you can even do a line like that thick. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Woo!
What?
That lid sounded like you were about to have
Disaster?
Mm,
What happened?
I don't want to wolf call it, but it did sound like maybe you were going to have a tip over.
Fernando Sabino. There's just so many ways you can do lettering. It's really kind of amazing, isn't it? How many fonts there are. Here it is, like these 26 letters, and there's just endless variations, and how each form really contributes to the tone and meaning. You know, you can have the exact same word in lots of different fonts or lots of different lettering styles, and they all just have a different energy to them.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool thing. It's all about mark making. All right, so I think we have one more to do, and we have just
10 minutes?
Time. Yeah, it's pretty good timing.
Yeah.
All right, so this is...
I mean, how are you going to fit that on this page?
this quote?
You going to do it? You're going to squeeze it in?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just going to try and keep all these... I actually have a new idea here. There's another very juicy pen, an Ecoline brush pen.
Is it Ecoline or is it Ecolini?
I call it Ecoline, but it's not. It's Ecoline.
Oh, I see.
I don't know why I call it Ecoline. It's not even Italian. What do you think about this quote? Do you think it's true?
I'm of two minds.
Which two?
I mean, I don't know if suffering is optional.
No?
I think that's maybe if you're the Buddha and you can obtain a higher elevation of personhood.
Well,
I think suffering is part of being alive.
I think the point is that pain is something that's almost...
is guaranteed.
Pain is something that comes from things that happen outside, in a way, outside of our minds. Whereas suffering is something that we create ourselves.
Right, but it's a response to an external stimulus that I think is at times beyond our control.
The external stimulus is, but is the response to it. I mean, he being the Buddha is basically saying, like, you decide whether you're going to suffer or not.
All right, Charmin has chimed in. You're going to suffer. You can choose when to stop suffering. But I think you are going to suffer, I think is what I do think.
Well, that's the part you have the control over, maybe.
Yeah.
If you're new to Draw With Me and you're wondering
what the actual heck is going on?
What are they talking about and why are they talking about it, you know?
You know, it's a free-form kind of program.
All right, well, now we have a page with all this stuff on it, and if you wanted to, you could maybe have designed it a bit better than I did. I just kind of was having fun playing around with it. But you could certainly do, you could do some embellishments if you felt like it.
Do you feel like you will?
You could do a little bit of sort of, again, I'm scared of this wet ink, but.
Yeah, there's a smear waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Twiglet? Time to go back into your own bed. Go gulp some more water. Am I covered in dog hair? Yep,
You could just do these sorts of like doodads and make it.
Quotes. They're like quotable quotes.
Oh, you mean these things I'm making look like quotes?
Yeah, I think they look like
I guess that's true. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about
quotation
it.
marks.
Yeah, we could do it with. Yeah, so you could kind of fill out the page with some devices or filigrees or dingbats.
Dingbats?
Yeah.
Is that what that's called? A dingbat?
I think it comes from printing.
Not a wingnut?
It might be that too. Yeah, so you could do all kinds of things just to fill in the little empty spaces. And,
I mean, you don't have much empty space, that's for sure.
well, that's the kind of the thing is like once you've gone this far, you might as well just kind of go nuts and fill the whole thing in.
The horse has left the barn.
And yes, it's taken all reason with it. It's sort of like graffiti, you know.
Did you ever do graffiti?
I'm too messy. Although, speaking of Jack, do you remember Jack got busted for doing graffiti?
Yeah, Jack had a graffiti moment.
Yeah. I've just outed him on
I think
international
I think he'd be proud of it.
streaming.
I think he'd be proud of it.
Yeah, if he even remembers it. But yeah, it actually worked out pretty well for him because he did some graffiti. He got punished for it, and his punishment was that he had to work in like this wood shop, and then he learned all these skills in doing that, and it kind of led in the end to what he now does for a living. So,
but didn't he have to also he was the janitor of the bathrooms?
no, you're thinking of that was me.
Riding your bike on the sidewalk.
Right. We're not going to relive that tragic episode, but all right. So yeah, I kind of wish I hadn't done that gold. It sort of doesn't keep fitting. I feel like if I had kept the palette a bit more consistent, it might have been happier or gone even wilder. But I sort of did neither here nor there. So there's a lot going on here, but it's okay.
Deborah wants to know what's the red brush pen.
The red brush pen is this. It is a, I don't know, what is it? It's a Pentel brush pen. And this is the gray one. Same thing. And this is, yeah, so that's the zebra. This is also a Pentel. This is another Pentel brush pen that's also red. Brush sign pen. There's a blue one. And here's a silver. And then there's a regular Pentel brush pen.
There's something about this page that is giving me, like, I don't know. There was this ice cream parlor we used to go to that had, like, turn of the century menu.
I was going to say, it's sort of
right?
like, yeah, there was
it
a
was
thing
like called Ferals. Did anyone else have Ferals? They come out and sing happy birthday with a big drum.
No, but I think that this style of like interlocking chunks of type, it's sort of a letterpress thing, but in the 60s, there was a lot of sort of nostalgic stuff like that. So they would do those kinds of things.
But I think the yellow in particular
is that what it is, you think?
I know. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I forgot to use this gold ink. Save it for another time. All right. Bad writing is inevitable. Smudging is optional. All right, that was fun.
I had a good time.
Jen Cahill knows about Ferrell's.
Oh, cool.
Giant trough of ice cream sundaes.
The best. I mean, when you're a kid, like getting an ice cream sundae, I know. I mean, it's birthday season, and I like to think about all the things I could be eating.
Speaking
all the
of
treaties. The
Buddha says suffering comes from egoic desires. Rid your desires, rid suffering. Right. So you are.
I desire an ice cream sundae.
Thank you for reducing it to that.
Look, it's somebody's birthday. We have to celebrate it. It wouldn't be right.
True. We don't have to talk about pain and suffering today. Yeah. Well, I hope that you will enjoy celebrating Jack's birthday wherever you are and in whatever form you do it. And let's move on to conclude. What do you think?
I think we're done. Want to remind people about the giveaway.
Yes. So we're going to be giving away 8 of these pads. So you have a pretty good chance of getting one. If you write to us at info@sketchbookschool.com, and don't forget your mailing address. Don't give us your mailing address. Yeah, if you don't give us your mailing address, you
won't win. It's that simple.
Can't send it to you. Can't do it.
Yeah.
We want to see your page of quotes and stuff, lettering, whatever you did. So please share it on Instagram or on Facebook or in the schoolyard, and make sure you tag it #SBS Sketchbook School. Draw with me. SBS Draw with me. And then we'll find it and we'll share it at the beginning of next week's show. We're also going to start sharing those on Facebook.
We're going to try if we can figure out how to log in.
Facebook, I've been wrestling with it.
Anyone here in the audience a Facebook expert? Give us a shout at info@Sketchbook School.
Yes, we're struggling with it. I write an essay every Friday and another one on Tuesday, but I've got a humdinger going up tomorrow. If you'd like to get it.
A humdinger?
Humdinger. Make sure you go to dannysessays.com and subscribe. It's free, and I send it out every Friday. Haven't missed one since Jack was born. Maybe even earlier. And if you'd like a bunch of those essays in book form,
you do you.
You can get it at my website, dannygregory.com. Just go there.
There he is.
And it is affordably priced, and you can get an ebook version or you can get a paperback. And a lot of people are doing it, so that is pretty exciting. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to this channel so that we can notify you when we next get together. I've also been doing a bunch of video essays. I did one called How I Learned to Draw in 10 Minutes that people seem to really be liking, and that I put up about a week ago, but it's kind of blowing up. So go and check it out if you haven't already. And that's about it. Thank you so much. JJ, thank you. Welcome back. Thanks for returning to our house.
I missed you. I missed everyone. I especially missed Twiglet.
There you go.